10 reasons why Chevrolet is discontinuing the Camaro for 2024. The Chevy Camaro is on permanent hold. Here's why the very last one is rolling off the assembly line in January 2024. News out of GM's Lansing Grand River Assembly Plant in Michigan affirmed the Chevrolet Camaro's fate. For 2 years, we've been hearing official rumblings about the time frame for the nameplate's demise. In 2021, GM Authority announced a possible farewell special edition option on the 2024 Camaro LT, SS, and ZL1, packaged as Heritage Edition. The Camaro has been in the Chevrolet family for half a century. Chevrolet has been in business since 1911 when racer and engineer Louis Chevrolet and GM founder William C. Durant teamed up to found the new company. Flash forward to 1966, 2 years after the plucky Ford Mustang took America by storm, and the Chevy Panther was born. We all know the name didn't stick, and we'll circle back to this. But here's what happened. Just before production, the Panther name was swapped for Camaro. Corporate said Panther sounded too similar to Cougar. Finally, Pete Estes, then Chevrolet general manager, assuaged press questions about the name change, saying, "A Camaro is a small vicious animal that eats Mustangs." The rest is history. Now, let's get to the bottom of the Chevrolet Camaro's new place in history. 10. GM announced it shelved the 7th generation. The central reason the Camaro is discontinued is GM panned any hope of those plans. On March 23, 2023, GM officially announced it is ending production. There will be no successor for the iconic Chevy Camaro line in the immediate future, as per Scott Bell, Vice President of Global Chevrolet. Enthusiasts and others anticipated a possible next-gen bowtie muscle car, but General Motors shut that down, saying a 7th-generation Camaro is off the table. The final iteration 2024 Camaro, they said, will roll off the assembly line in January of that year. To which some say, good riddance. 9. Costs are too high for GM to invest in 7th generation. Developing a new line of cars with a new generation petroleum engine is costly. Developing any new model generation is costly, and those costs can spread into the future. Add to that, currently, GM is not interested in pursuing new investment in gas engines for performance cars. Trucks are another thing. A green future with muscle cars off at pasture is the company's vision. For the meantime, it is a bad investment strategy to spend money on projects that contradict GM's clean energy objectives. Currently, 75% of the company's capital is allocated toward EVs and autonomous autos. 8. Camaro sales don't support continuing the line. The numbers are not there. At the end of the year, sales of the 2022 Chevy Camaro were 24,652. Digits were even lower than the previous year. In 2021, 21,893 Camaros left the lot. This is in stark contrast to first-year sales in 2016 when the 6th generation was announced. Demand was high, and 72,705 units were sold. Trucks and SUVs are profitable. GM aims to put its efforts into bringing profitable products to market. To that end, the 2024 Chevy Silverado HD is now in production. It's a 6.6-liter V8 LAT, making it easy to see where the V8s are going to be. The 2024 Chevy Silverado has a new nameplate, TurboMax, because it is a truck worth producing. Meanwhile, 2022 GMC Sierra sales rose by 25% last quarter. 7. Chevy might want to debut a new Camaro lineup in the future. Another reason the bowtie brand is being shelved is GM might plan to announce a 7th-gen iteration in a few years, restocking demand for the classic nameplate. While a traditional muscle car with a gas engine is not likely, one cannot say what the manufacturer will do. Scott Bell, Vice President of Global Chevrolet, also announced in March, this is not the end of the Camaro's story. The Chevy Camaro is on hold. A hybrid version of the Chevy Camaro is a more likely outcome. This way, the car would maintain its muscle while lowering emissions with the assistance of an electric motor. We even have an idea of what a hybrid Camaro of the future might look like. 6. The buying public is more open to EVs. A strong indication that GM plans to electrify this Chevy classic brand, first introduced as a nameplate in 1966, is its pro-EV corporate communication. The company consistently makes clear its priority to lower emissions in vehicles. CEO Mary Barra announced at the end of 2020 that GM will offer 30 electric vehicle models in its lineup by 2025. In 2023, 7 EV models are going forward in the company's EVs for Everyone future. Not only is the company prioritizing electric, but people increasingly want to drive electric. In the largest ever national survey by Consumer Reports on the topic, results showed a third of buyers would purchase an EV. 3 in 10 consumers said they would opt for an EV because of high fuel costs and lower long-term maintenance demands. 5. A new exec at GM. A shift at GM headquarters transpired in early 2023. Zach Kirkman took over as Vice President of Corporate Development. The former Tesla exec was head of Corporate Development, Mergers, and Acquisitions in Austin, Texas. In Detroit, Kirkman's new role is Vice President, Corporate Development and Global Mergers and Acquisitions. CFO Paul Jacobson welcomed Kirkman, citing his strong background in mergers and acquisitions. For any potential merger with an EV company, the new VP would lead the way. Jacobson assured people in his announcement that Kirkman is a true car enthusiast. But he also emphasized the new leader's commitment to electric vehicles and to GM's future. The CFO said that Kirkman will be an asset in implementing GM's vision, a world with zero crashes, zero emissions, and zero congestion. 4. An electrified Camaro nameplate? Whispers about an all-electric Camaro sub-brand have been circling since a leak from GM surfaced. It suggested a new umbrella of Camaro branding. The insider tip was related by Car and Driver. The future offering, as the rumor suggested, might look like a coupe or convertible Chevy Camaro, harnessed with an electric motor. The anonymous informant also suggested a 2- or 4-door sporty Camaro crossover SUV, as rendered here, might be on Chevy's drawing board. The source assured any of the prospective all-electric Camaro options would be in demand on the global market to dispel views that see Camaro's appeal flagging. Regardless, it could happen. With stated goals by GM to make 100% of models electric by 2035 and with plans to make 40% of GM products battery electric by 2025, it is easy to imagine a Camaro EV scenario. CEO Mary Barra committed to a zero-carbon future by 2040. Besides laying out aggressive EV goals for the company, she also led by signing with the Business Ambition Pledge, a coalition of UN agencies to join an effort to a carbon net zero economy, joining Volkswagen and Ford. 3. GM might build a Camaro e-supercar. There is nothing that says a Camaro nameplate will grace a fender of an electrified supercar, but it could happen. The biggest determiner of something like this is the attractiveness of the brand. Auto manufacturers choose the most popular models for electric ventures, for obvious reasons. So, if the Camaro name holds excitement as it did in 2010 and 2016, and as it has in its muscle car reputation, then perhaps exciting outcomes like a supercar will transpire. However, what we know is an electrified race car, under the Copo Camaro iteration, was not desirable. No one cared when the ECOPO Performance Factory race car was available at auction in 2019. The car, competitive in drag racing, was expected to command up to $525,000, but it did not entice. Instead, the ECOPO rolled off the auction block at Monterey Car Week and onto the trailer, back to its storage facility. 2. Go out on top with the greatest Camaro iteration. Perhaps the 6th gen is truly the end. Why not go out on top? As the sun sets on this generation, it is faster and more loaded with more horsepower than any vintage or modern Camaro nameplate. Passing the baton from the mechanical heights of last century, the new Camaro took its racetracks all over. NASCAR, NHRA, IMSA, and SRO all host 6th-gen production models. Fortunately, the 6 will continue to compete on pre-existing motorsport teams. It's a good place to end. The badass street-legal zl1 LE set track records. It beat every Camaro of all time. At GM's Milford Road course at the Milford Proving Grounds, it proved itself. And in 2018, the zl1 LE set a record at Nordschleife Nürburgring. It was Camaro's best lap time ever at the famed track. 1. Final Collector's Edition Package Marketing Opportunity. The final Collector's Edition package for the 2024 Camaro is announced. Rather than calling it a Heritage Edition, marketing execs settled on Collector's Edition. It is the final opportunity to buy a bowtie Camaro. Orders commence summer 2023. The collector's edition has a more restricted offering than previously suggested. There are 2 model choices. It will be a coupe or soft-top convertible 2024 Camaro RS or SS. The LT is not included. Special collector's edition badging is available. Procuring one of a limited number of ZL1 models is the other option. Some Camaro enthusiasts are disappointed the 2024 models are essentially the same. No enticing upgrades are offered, as compared with Dodge Challenger's send-off, for example. And there was never any hope of it because GM had previously cancelled production of the 2023 line. One point of interest with the collector's edition is the move to bring back the original Panther code name. It pays homage to Camaro's glory days. However, the name was ditched for more than one reason. In those days, a muscle car called Mercury Cougar was out there. But so was the Black Panther civil rights movement, a militant group that nary a corporate board member would want anything to do with. Nowadays, however, the Black Panther franchise is an across-the-board success that everyone loves. Going with 1966 Panther branding now is a no-brainer marketing move with plenty of synergy.